Buenas noches. I am truly honored I come to you from New Mexico, humbly, and thank Verizon for recognizing my efforts that my parents instilled to me at a young age. Giving back to the community, I am in a business of educating the future business owners, the future leaders of tomorrow at the University of New Mexico. But I was also taught to give back to the community. It's important to, as an administrator, to make education accessible to our community, especially the Latino community, a growing community where we need to work together to educate more of our Latinos, Latinas, because we are the future. And so I also want to thank my nominator, Patricia Chavez, who's here on behalf of the Hispano Chamber Commerce Foundation. Thank you, Patricia, for being my mentor and believing in me, and of my husband who traveled with me, and our last speaker who talked about the importance of family balance. Being Latinos, we're out there paving the pavement, trying to move the community so that we can contribute in many ways so that we can better the future and the opportunities for our community. So thank you. And Verizon, thank you. The Albuquerque community is ecstatic. And the state of New Mexico, which is the second poorest state in the nation, we have lots of work to do, and your contribution, your acknowledgement toward me is going to go a long way, so thank you. And I am a Verizon person, yay! I own as my husband tells me, I own a crackberry because I'm able to communicate with my students, faculty, and staff in the community in seconds with my BlackBerry, so thank you so much. And again, I humbly accept this award. I'm getting $2,500, and I decided to put the money locally in the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber Foundation. The money is going to go to the wonderful work that the Hispanic Heritage Committee, which is 60 organizations there in Albuquerque, to give back to the community. We do so many wonderful activities to preserve the culture because we want our students to feel a sense of pride in their culture. We want them not to give up on themselves and to know that the way they are and who they are is the way they should be. Their history, their language, their family upbringings, we want them to take pride in. So funding will go to that, as well as the National MS Society, right there, the local chapter of the Albuquerque, Rio Grande. Many people don't know, but I am living with multiple sclerosis. So I feel like as a Latina, I want to do outreach because I tell everybody in Albuquerque, I can't be the only Latina with MS. So I'm hoping that I can do outreach with this money and do a little bit of programming in our community so that we can reach a lot of the Latino populations and get them the resources in healthcare to get them immediate support and help. Thank you once again, and I greatly appreciate this acknowledgement. Thank you.
Hello. My sister threatened me not to cry, but I think that's going to be quite a difficult thing to do, so I'm sorry. First, I'd like to thank Verizon for recognizing me tonight. This award means a lot to me. Sorry, Ellie. As I said in the video, my parents had small businesses most of my childhood life, so I grew up around the small business. They had restaurants in the San Fernando Valley, and my sister and I grew up watching my parents work really, really hard provide a better life for us. And they had many, many successes, but they also had many, many challenges. And the challenges came as a result of a lack of resources and services in their language. And so it didn't matter how hard they worked. It didn't matter how much time they put into the business. They couldn't put together a team that could support them and that could provide them the information and the resources that they needed. And fast forward, the same is true. Fast forward 20 years later, the same is true for businesses today. I went to Cal State Northridge. I'm sorry, I'm not a Bruin. But I'm a Valley girl, and so I attended Cal State Northridge and studied business administration with the idea that I was going to continue helping my parents with their business, but life had another path for me. And I got married at a young age. I had two beautiful daughters that are here with me tonight. And several years into that marriage, I became a single parent. And so my focus really needed to become supporting my daughters, and the dreams of continuing to follow in my parents' footsteps had to be placed on hold. But my mother, who is also here tonight, constantly would say to me, "When are you going to start a business? When are you going to continue our business? What are you going to do? You can't be working so hard for somebody else. You need to start a business." I worked really hard so that you wouldn't have to work for somebody else, and yet that's what you're doing. But I couldn't take that risk. I had to support my kids, and that needed to be my focus. But they're older now. They need less of me, and so the thought of starting my business was always brewing in the back of my mind. And so I can't take credit for the idea of Academia del Éxito on my own. This is really inspired by my mother, who herself has an incredible passion for helping others and wanted to take what she has learned, the struggles that she went through, and wants to save others from going through the same struggles. So Academia del Éxito is a family project. It's something that I hope to be able to do with the support of my parents, my sister, my daughters, and to really help current business owners and emerging business owners to provide them the resources and the services that they need in their language, but not just in their language, in a vocabulary that is easy for them to understand. There's a lot of services out there, I know, that are available to Latino businesses, but sometimes Latino businesses have a hard time reaching out to those services. And so we'd like to really provide those services at a community level and really hold their hand and take them through the process so that we can help Verizon discover a lot of emerging businesses in the future. So I feel very blessed, I feel very honored to be here tonight. Thank you so much to the two speakers. You were incredibly inspirational. Thank you very, very much. I'm glad to have been able to hear your speeches, but I'm especially glad that my daughters got to hear it, because I think it's an incredible lesson for them. So thank you again.
Wow, this is going to be a tough act to follow here after hearing so many good speakers and people crying, people being so happy about receiving awards. I'm actually super, super happy. I actually wrote something, and I'll tell you a little about, why I'm a true entrepreneur. I do really consider myself a true entrepreneur. Right now, I actually have 4 different companies that deal with technologies and education that help back the community. And I have actually 3 products that I'm launching. One is a rewards program. One is a last-minute training that is going throughout the whole nation. And so many things. I can't stop thinking about new ideas. But first of all, I want to thank Verizon Wireless for this award, for the opportunity that you're giving the Hispanic community, small businesses, entrepreneurs like me, to have the opportunity to showcase what we do, with our heart. We help our community, we help people, we change lives. For the past 16 years, I've actually trained probably more than 8,000 people that have lost their jobs and have actually been retrained in new careers. And these are people that are actually at the top positions everywhere in most places in corporate America. So for me to be their mentor, to be there when they need it, it was actually something really good. And there's so many stories that I can tell you. Before 9/11, that disaster that we had, I actually did something really small for the American Red Cross, which was a small website, which actually transformed into a complete business of more than 12 years, where we took donations for 9/11, we took donations for Katrina in numbers of millions and millions of dollars. And when I go back and I say, wow, those are the systems that I built myself, me being Hispanic, me being an immigrant from Venezuela, I'm actually French Venezuelan Colombian, came here at the age of 15 and a half. I had to do it all on my own. I had a wonderful scholarship that paid for the first year, but then after that, everything collapsed on me. So I was here alone, no family, nobody, no family, no relatives to go back and say, help me. So I had to do it all on my own. So I remember actually when I was going to college, I think that's when I started becoming an entrepreneur. Because I used to throw parties so I can make money so I can pay for my school. I remember those days. So, and through the years, I see I have this passion for education, for help. I've been part of the board member for the Red Cross. I just was recently selected partner engagement board member for Microsoft. I was actually part of the largest Microsoft event in the world here in LA this year, where I was actually their face, Hispanic face in LA. So a lot of those accomplishments, when they called me and they said, you're the winner, I was like shocked. I said, why would they pick me? You always go back and say, why would they pick me? And now coming back and listening to the stories and meeting Araceli and going through all the inspirational stories that Louis and Nelly said, I'm actually in the right path because I do consider family as the #1 priority. I'm a type of person that actually in the whole year, my wife is here, Adriana, we take 60 days of vacation in the entire year. We go everywhere. I put that as a priority for my family. I want to make sure that when my kids grow up, they say, yes, I knew who my dad was. I mean, he worked hard, he helped everybody, but he was there for me too. This awards actually represents validation for my efforts, dedication, my team. The person that nominated me, Emilio Savani, is here. He's my director of sales. Thank you for nominating me. Of course, my wife, my family. Verizon, I can tell you, you are an innovator. Technology, communication, you are the leader in the industry. What would we do without you? Technology plays such an important role for any small business or anybody who wants to start a business. I mean, as an entrepreneur, I can see that technology is a critical factor to making it or not making it as a business owner. For me, getting all this it's amazing because I'm going to utilize it for my businesses, and the $10,000 I'm going to actually give back once again to the community by creating a scholarship where I can actually have 3 people from a high school that graduated that might not want to be going to college, going to certification programs where they can actually become engineers and have a good career, and giving back to those people, I mean, that maybe they didn't have the chance that we have, that some of us have. I really dedicate this to my family, my team, my multiple teams from IDT, from Axel, from Global Trainer, from all the different things that I actually do. I do believe in education. And I want to once again thank Verizon Wireless for this wonderful opportunity. I guess they say as you're getting older, you start getting these awards. That's what's happening to me. So that's great. That's good validation. I accept it humbly. And I'm here to represent the Hispanic community and continue giving. You'll hear much more about me in the future. Thank you.